Hi, I'm Steve. Thank you for visiting our channel Patio Heat, where we provide visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for ideal patio comfort. Please check out our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. We also appreciate you tapping that like button as it helps others find our channel. Now let's get heating. Alright, so what we have here is a residential application, and basically there's two, maybe three different zones of area to heat. So let's go ahead and look at the dimensions first of all. First of all, we have a total dimension here of, I'm going to call this 2810 from this edge here to this edge, or the center to center rather. 37 total, but we're not going to heat up the whole area. And then we have a depth here from the post here to the inner wall at 14.5. Now this customer mentioned that they're only interested in heating up two different zones. I'm going to turn the dimensions off right now. The zone would be this seating area here and then this seating area here, and I'm supposing possibly maybe the standing area between the barbecue and countertop area as well. But we're going to really concentrate on just the outer edge here. Now this is a viewer submitted drawing, and they had already installed, or I should say pre-located the positions of the heaters, and I didn't get the actual dimensions of their placement, but these are going to be a flush mount system. These are 6,000 watt units at 240 volts, so that's 25 amps a piece. And you can see here that I did mention here, let me go back to the dimensions here. I should have a height on here of 11 feet to the ceiling. And that's why we're going to use the 6,000 watts. Now the seating area here, you can see that we have two rather closely mounted units. And if I have the dimensions on that, let's see here. I have them at 5 feet 5, which is typically way too close. But this is in a rather cooler climate area, so with that being said, we want to kind of overheat the area because of the height as well as the amount of cooling that can take place. Now I would consider using a control system and at max, and then at best use a duplex switch if you're not going to use the control system. The duplex switch will allow you to turn one element on, one element off. It is a good option, however, it doesn't give you that full capacity to go 1% on to 100% on. It's just a 50-100% on and off. All right, so the thing I'm concerned about, well, this area here is fairly easy to manage. So if we have the ray here, you can see that we're getting a very well coverage throughout this whole space. We got a lot of good overlapping. So no matter where you're sitting inside this area here, you should be fine. Again, the overlapping might be excessive for this particular spot over here on this chair or couch. But everything else looks rather well heated. So I'm going to say this is fairly well. Now, again, I would typically move these heaters apart up to 8 feet apart. So I just have a little bit of overlapping, but again, the location is a cooler location, and the height is rather high. So I think this is going to be a very acceptable application. Now let's move over here to the bar stool area, and you're going to notice that now I put this beam in here, and I'm not sure if this beam physically exists or not, or whether it's recessed into the ceiling as well. And also what does matter is where the joists run across here. So they did inform me that the joists are going parallel with the house. And as you can see here with the 1'6", I have 18 inches of clearance from the edge of the heater to this beam, if that beam in fact exists. So that's something that's important. You can see that there is a clearance that you must maintain below the heater to any combustible surface. So that's why I have that 18 inches. And the thing, however, is that me just check here. I think the thing is that as this beam comes out and down towards the seating area here, you can see that this body here is physically outside of the ray. Now, this is the ideal ray. The ray actually does come out and further. This is a light wave, so light bends and stretches as it travels away from its source, and then it is once it hits an object, a solid object, and it absorbs into that object. And infrared is the same type of light source that the sun puts out that we feel warm with. So, but as you can see here, the body isn't fully into that ideal amount of ray. And so I'm a little concerned about that. Now, with Infratech flush mounts, you can change the angle very, very slightly. There are 4 tabs, that 2 on each side, that hold the heater in by gravity. And you're allowed to manipulate the angle of the heater very slightly, maybe 2 degrees. But just a small 2-degree angle would allow this ray to broadcast further out to the left side here of this patio. And I think that would be very acceptable. And you can see if you were the cook here in the middle, you would still receive heat. Now, the other part too I want to mention is you can obviously see that the seating area height is totally different. We're about a foot higher, a little bit more than a foot higher, and also if you were standing here, it would be also a little higher. So you want to have the access of reducing the amount of heat for different times of the year, because you are very close, or much closer I should say, to the heater surface itself. So the intensities are divided very quickly as it travels outside of the heater element, and as it travels through space, it diminishes very quickly. So, but if you're standing there, it's going to be a little bit warmer of an application. So that's why I'm talking about that. So, all right. Well, the other thing I want to mention is I just had placed this particular unit here centrally located within this bar stool seating area, and then this these 2 heaters here, I just kind of marked off an area where I thought it would be pretty much the center of the sitting space. I think they have these marks down here at this distance here, 7'11", and I don't have the actual measurement of that there, but you're about 12 feet of throw here. Okay, and you can see this is why the maximum height of the most acceptable amount of heat is about a foot higher than I would like it, showing this here. That's why the doubling up really does help. All right, well, if you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you'd like us to review your plans, please send your information to designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve. Thank you very much, and don't forget to hit that like button, because that's the only way we work around the YouTube algorithms. And I thank you very much. Have a great day.